We're doing 2.4.F, solve scenarios using systems, and in our textbook, it tells us how to do it. First of all, read to understand the application. You know you understand it when you can identify the quantity needed, translate the information into two equations, and solve that equation, or those equations. Answer the question if a variable is not needed, is not the quantity needed, and then use quality control to determine if what you wrote makes sense. Let's look at our first problem here. Eau Claire Rocco Law Firm has 24 partners. 9 are senior partners and 15 are junior partners. Each senior partner's income is 4 times as much as the junior partner's income. The total salary of all the partners of Rocco is $6,120,000 per year. Okay, so our first equation is 15 times the junior's salary, because there are 15 junior partners, plus 9 times the senior's salary, because there are 9 senior partners, is 612,000. And then it says in this sentence, each senior partner's income is 4 times as much as the junior partner's income. So our second equation is senior is 4 times junior. Now I'm going to rewrite that equation so that both variables are on the same side. I'm going to subtract 4 junior from each side. And I get -4 junior plus senior equals 0. Now I can put my two equations into my calculator, or I could solve by elimination or substitution, either too, because if I did substitution, I could just substitute that in right there. But I'm going to use my calculator to solve this one. You can use whichever method you like. 5, 1, and I'm going to get 15, 9, 6, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, and -4, 1, 0. And I get the junior partners make 120,000, the seniors partners make 480,000. Let's look at the next one. Jay's Computers in River Falls sells 7 times as many printers as fax machines. The totals for the month were 400. How many printers were sold? So you solve the problem until, or you read the problem until you know what they're looking for. We want to know how many printers. Printers equals how many? Well, one of our variables is going to be P. The other one's going to be F for fax. So we do have both of them. And it says the total sales for the month is 400 pieces. So printers plus faxes, I'm going to write them the other way around. Faxes plus printers, I just like to keep my variables in alphabetical order, is 400. And then it says 7 times as many printers as fax machines. So to have them be equal, 7 fax machines will equal 1 printer, right? Because it sells 7 times as many printers, so you need to multiply the fax machines by 7. So 7 fax. We want the printers on the other side, so minus printers equals 0. We could substitute this right into here, but I want to solve it using my calculator. So I would get mode 5, 1, and I would have 1 and 1 is 400, and 7 and -1 is 0. And I get 50 fax machines and 350 printers, which makes sense because that is 7 times as much. Number 3. Georgia produces 30 more than 5 times what Harriet produces. If Georgia's total production is 235, how much does Harriet produce each day? Harriet is this. So let's use the letter H for Harriet and G for Georgia. Okay. If Georgia's total production for the day is 235, G equals 235. And it says Georgia produces, so equals, more than, so we're going to need to have 5H plus 35. Notice it's more than. This one's easiest to just solve using substitution. Georgia is 235, so we would rewrite our equation as 235 is 5H plus 35. Subtract 35 from each side, and we get 5H is 200. Divide both sides by 5. H is 40. Next one. Let's start it again. Oh, come on. I'm going to just stop it then if it's going to be that way about it. Okay. A mountain bike costs 30 more than 3 times as much as a street bike. If together they cost 710, what is the cost of the mountain bike? I'm not going to use B for bike. I'm going to use M for mountain. And the other variable is street. Together they cost 720. So mountain plus street is 710. A mountain bike costs, so mountain is, there's a than, so it's 3S plus more than, so plus 30. Let's rewrite this second equation so the 3S is on the other side, and the second equation becomes M minus 3S equals 30. Now we've got 2 equations in the standard form, so we can use our calculator to solve them. Mode 5, 1, and we get 1, and 1 is 710, and 1 minus 3 is 30. Oops. Is 30. So we get 540 is how much the mountain bike costs, 170 is how much the street bike costs. And we want to know the mountain bike, so that'll be our answer. Next. A new machine can produce 25 more than 4 times as much production per hour as the old machine. If the new machine can produce 285 units per hour, how many did the old machine produce? So old is what we're looking for. Let's use the variable O for old machine. And N will be new machine. All right, a new machine can produce 25 more than 4 times the old machine plus 25 more than, you got the more. If the new machine can produce 285, new is 285. So this is a really good equation to just use substitution, because you got 2 equations that both have the n all alone. So 285 is 4O plus 25. Subtract 25 from each side. And you get 260 is 4O. Divide both sides by 4. And O is 65. So the old machine is 65. We already know the new machine is 285. All right. Next one. Bill and Joel. Don't you like that joke? Like Billy Joel. Bill and Joel invested $120,000 in a business. If Bill invested 5 times as much as Joel, how much did Bill invest? So I'm going to use the letter B for Bill. Bill plus Joel is $120,000. Bill invested 5 times as much as Joel. I want both variables on the same side, so I'm going to rewrite that second equation as B minus 5J equals 0. Then I can use my calculator. So, mode 5, 1, and I get 1, and 1 is 120,000. 1 minus 5 is 0. And I get 100,000 is how much Bill invested and Joel invested 20,000. Number 7. Oops. I don't know what happened there. Number 7. Last month on Water Street sold 7 times as many DVDs as CDs. If the total quantity of these two items sold was 680, how many DVDs did it sell? DVDs is what we're looking for, and CDs is the other thing that we're given. So I'm going to use the variables D and C. So C plus D, the total they sold was 680. They sold 7 times as many DVDs as CDs. Oops, I got that wrong. You got to look here. It says they sold 7 times as many DVDs as CDs. So to make them equal, you have to multiply. When it says times as many, you have to multiply the 7 times the C to make it equal to the D. Why? Because the DVDs is already bigger, so you can't multiply that by 7. All right, so we're going to move this to the other side, and we would rewrite that equation as 7C minus D is 0. Now we can use our calculator. Mode 5, 1, and we get 1, and 1 is 680. 7 and minus 1 is 0. And we get 85 CDs and 595 DVDs. 595, 85. All right.